Hi Danvers, my name is Gayla Bartlett and I am here today for our new episode of Lead On, where we meet with community leaders. And today we have the one and only Cody Van Wittenberghe from NAGLY, an adult advisor.
Hello.
Hi Cody, welcome.
Thank you.
So Cody, you've been here on Community Connections.
Yes.
And I have seen you all around Salem and the community for NAGLY events, which are great. For our viewers at home, can you let them know what NAGLY stands for?
Yeah, so NAGLY is the North Shore Alliance of LGBTQ youth. We are a drop-in center, and we run different groups and programming for youth in the LGBT community to come in, be themselves, and feel safe in an area where they don't have to worry about outside things coming in and affecting them. And they can also meet peers and other people who will make them feel a little less alone and make new friends that they may struggle with at schools.
Which is great. And there are so many different things, so it's very timely that we have Cody here. Pride Month starts in June. Whoop,
Yeah.
whoop, whoop,
Busy month.
whoop. We're excited. Yeah, I went on the website, and every town has something going on, which is so exciting.
Yep. There's a lot going on. I think we have over 30 events planned that we will be attending.
Wow.
A lot of them are flag raisings, and then of course North Shore Pride. And our youth are hopefully going to volunteer with us at some of them.
That's great. I think that's awesome. So before we talk about some of the exciting things happening for Pride Month, which is a huge undertaking and a lot for us to talk about today, I wanted to just touch base on the transgender anti-trans bills. Right now there are 400 anti-trans bills, and transgender banning of reproductive change and gender affirming care. I mean, you deal with the transgender youth. You deal with these kids, and you know from experience how hard it is. So my concern is that we have children that are, don't feel like they fit in as it is, right? So now we're doing this. And
yeah.
Thank God it's not happening here in Massachusetts, but horrifying.
Yes.
Horrifying.
Yeah, I think it's hard to watch happen, especially because as an adult you want to protect the kids.
Right.
And going through life already struggling to be yourself, already being scared to go out and do normal things that most kids can do, and then seeing all these different things in the news about youth not being able to go to the bathrooms that they want in schools, their pronouns, or getting gender affirming care is child abuse. As a youth you see that and you're like, what is happening? You don't understand it because you're young. You don't know what the politics are.
Right.
And all you see is, oh my God, all these people hate me. So at NAGLY, we are really trying to raise the awareness of what these different laws and bannings are doing and how they're affecting our youth. But we also want to focus on keeping our youth safe and giving them a positive environment and showing that they do have a bunch of support, whether they can see it or not. There are tons of people that have their back, and we want them to come to NAGLY and just be like, okay, I'm safe here. I'm not the only one feeling this way. Like, what can we do to help? A lot of our youth are trying to find ways to help our community, and they start GSAs at their schools, and they help youth at their schools, and they're training basically to become leaders. They want to make that difference in the future. I think also at NAGLY we want to be able to be a part of something bigger, bringing awareness of everything that affects these kids. Because you hear, oh, there's all these bannings, transgender kids are getting upset, like all these different things, but no one actually focuses on the fact that these kids want change, but no one listens to the fact that they want change.
Right.
We always listen to what the adults want, what the parents want. We never go to the youth and say, hey, what can we do to help you? What can we do to support you? And I think that's what we're really trying to get at with when they come to NAGLY and we have these conversations. Which
is great. And you and Tony were at the Transgender Night at Maple Street.
Yes.
Danvers High put on, which was great.
Yeah.
It was a nice space for transgender youth, family, and supporters or allies to come together, and great to have that.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a long time coming as well. Just knowing that there's this space that the kids can feel free and be themselves. And it's, we talk about mental health in general. Mental health for kids this day and age, especially after COVID, is tough.
Yeah.
You have kids who haven't socialized, kids who haven't seen each other, kids who forget how to engage. And now if you're dealing with anything that makes you different or that people aren't accepting of, You have that.
Yeah, it's like layer on top of layer.
Right.
And I think COVID really did affect a lot of people. I mean, we went from being a society where you could go out and pretty much do anything to all of a sudden having a full year being in your house. And for youth that are so used to going to school, all of a sudden doing it online, and a lot of our youth struggle to make friends. And going from being in person where you have more of a chance of making friends to strictly online, you've now just cut contact with all the people that you could have been friends with.
Right.
And now you're even more alone. I know with NAGLY, we did keep going through COVID just through Zoom. So it's not the same, but at least they still had that community. We also started our Discord channel so the youth can message each other outside of NAGLY. And one of the adult advisors just moderates it to make sure everything's going good on there.
Well, that's good, yeah.
So I think now that we're open and youth are able to get out more and come to NAGLY and meet new people, we see a lot of youth come in very anxious and nervous because we have a lot of youth that come.
Yep.
So coming in is like, oh, what is all this? But usually after a month or maybe even a few months, they are all just out of their shells, like running around laughing.
I love it.
And they hang out outside of NAGLY.
Yep.
So, you know, when I see that, I'm like, oh, wow, like we're actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
And we're actually helping these youth and giving them that space where they don't have to worry about the outside world for a little bit. They can just be them and be in a safe space.
And they're doing so much, and that space is gorgeous.
Yes, 5,000 square feet. I think it's the biggest LGBTQ space in Massachusetts at the moment.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's great. And how many people does NAGLY serve? How many kids do come in those doors on the...
So I think probably around 200 a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, we've grown a lot. Each group has different, like we see different numbers because they're in school and things. Fridays are our busiest because that's when we have our drop-ins and transcendence for transgender and non-binary youth. So that's when we see a lot of kids. And it can get very crazy. So we tend to take them on walks like to CVS. And we're also going to start bringing them to Salem Commons on nice days so they can like run around and get their energy out without being inside.
Now, is that the ages? Is that one 12 to 23 or what?
Yeah, so for our different groups, each group has a different age range. Our main age is middle school through 23. So drop-ins, it's middle school through 23. We don't say specific age for middle school because some middle schools have more of an age range than others. Because I know there's somewhere there's 12-year-olds in middle school, you know, and it can be like 6th grade and 8th grade.
Right.
So we kind of just give it a broad idea. But for transcendence, it's middle school through 23. And same with drop-in hours on Fridays.
So why 23 though? Because you're considered an adult at 18.
Yes.
And you graduate high school usually at 18, unless you're a late bloomer at 19.
Yeah.
So why 23? I'm like 23.
Yeah, no, I think we do 23 because you know when you turn 18, yes, legally you're considered an adult. But for a lot of youth, you're not exactly. You're not all the way there, and a lot of our youth, once they graduate high school, again, they may not be going to college. They may not have any friends. They don't have that space to go to. So we want to keep our doors open for that youth, for those youth. And a lot of the youth that are older than 18 end up becoming peer leaders and kind of start training to be in charge and to help the youth that were them when they were younger.
Right.
So I think having it open to 23 is more so that 18-year-old and older can come in and do that like moral support for the younger kids and a person for the younger kids to relate to because they're so close in age.
Right.
And the kids know that these youth have already been there.
And I laugh because I have a 19-year-old and she's going to be 20 in August. And she continuously tells me, I'm an adult now. And I'm like, yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep, whatever you say.
Yep.
Love you, whatever you say. No problem. Yes, absolutely you are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, no problem. Right, so we talked about the identity, the gender identity, and I know that NAGLY has been huge advocates and allies for drag performers. We had the Red Party.
Yes.
Woohoo! Wore my Fascinator made just for the event. It was amazing.
It was
huge.
Very cool.
And you raised a lot of money.
Yes, we did. I forget the exact amount, but it was
a lot.
It was a lot. It was very successful, and everyone had a great time.
You had a lot of celebrities there. You had Kim Driscoll there.
Yep. We had Miss Trans America.
I got my picture with Miss Transamerica.
Yeah.
You'll actually be seeing that. It'll be plopping in through this picture, through this show today. Yeah, she was beautiful.
Yes,
so that
she
was
was.
exciting.
Yep.
And then the very own, she's from Salem, the one that was queened. I always say Wigfellow. It's not Wigfellow.
Wigfall?
Wigfall,
Yeah,
yes.
Miss Diamond. Miss Diamond Wigfall.
Who's a local from Salem.
Yep, and she's amazing. She
And
does
she
a lot.
won.
Yep,
It was
she
raining
did.
dollars down. It was her mother that was making the money
Yeah.
rain down. I was like, mother is making it rain money for her daughter. I love this.
Yes,
it was
it was
raining money.
amazing.
That was cool. I was like, okay, this is very exciting. And then there was drag bingo that you did. I think that was last year.
Yes,
they
it
went to
was.
that last year.
Yep.
And then we have it coming up in Wenham.
Yes, we do. I'm very excited for that. It's going to be
I
a
already
lot
bought
of
my
fun.
tickets because I know it's going to sell out. Everything
Yes,
sells out.
It does, and it sells out fast.
So as soon as it goes online, I'm like, yep, I'll buy that. I got it. I'm there. So I know that we had Wigfall.
Yep.
She came and she did her makeup, showing kids, teenagers how to put makeup on at the Danvers Library, which
Yep.
was sold out or booked like that.
Yes, it was. It was a very successful
18
night.
children, I think, or 18
Yep.
teens.
And then we also had there was the counter protest and the protesters outside.
Which was, it's to me, it's heartbreaking.
Yes.
But to see the love that Danvers showed was
Yeah.
beautiful.
No, Danvers really pulled through on that one. I think a lot of people showed up to protest the counter protesters.
Right.
And keep those youth safe.
Right.
When they were leaving, we kind of lined up to block anything so these can just come out and be themselves, and we would cheer them on.
Right.
But Miss Diamond, I do have to say, is amazing. She does not back down.
No.
Even if someone's saying they're going to protest it, she's like, okay, let me go do my thing.
Yeah.
And she's worked with NAGLY quite a bit and volunteered her time for our youth, and
Which
she'll
is
come in
great.
and run groups and things like
Oh,
that.
I didn't know that. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So we've had her do the makeup group for our little
Great.
rainbows.
Oh,
which is...
okay. Explain. Okay, so this is so cute. I love little rainbows. Explain to me the age of little rainbows. I just love all the different groups have really cute names. Go ahead.
So Little Rainbows is kindergarten through elementary school.
Cute little rainbows.
We meet every other Thursday, and it's 2 hours. The first hour is usually an activity, something fun. And the second hour is also an activity, but something where they can learn more. So sometimes Tony, our program director, will make an activity that kind of teaches them how to work as a team. Because at that age, you're young, and if you don't have siblings, sharing is very difficult, and communication is difficult. So we usually have some sort of group where they have to work together and listen to each other. So Little Rainbows is always a blast. It's always very chaotic because all these little, I like to call them gremlins, are running around. They're all adorable. But yeah, Little Rainbows is a great group, and it's growing. So when we first started, we probably had, I think, like 5 youth. Now we have 14. And this just started last year.
And that's good. That's the one the parents come to.
Yes, so parents have to come with the youth and stay with the youth. But they usually, sometimes it's when we're doing our activities, the youth are at the table and the parents are kind of sitting together.
Which is
so
huge,
it gives
'cause
them a chance to talk to each other.
There's a support group there too, which I think is great.
Yeah, we have our Epic group, which is for parents specifically. It is the third Monday of every month. And all the parents go into one room. Myself, Kathy, and Connor all go to this group and help the parents when they are going through something rough or giving them advice on how to help their youth. A lot of the parents that go to this are parents of transgender or non-binary youth, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate.
How to be supportive. Which is
Exactly.
huge. The fact that the parents come
Yes,
is
big
huge
props.
because there are so many parents that, you hear the horror stories
Yes.
of the shaming and you can't do that and the denying.
Yes. Yeah, there's
Which
a lot.
is heartbreaking. And then the suicide rate goes up because then the parents aren't involved or they're not supportive.
It's very hard. So when I see parents come in and seeing that group also grow, it makes me super happy because I'm like, wow, look at these parents that are trying.
Right.
They're coming to this group. They're taking time out of their day to try and support their kid, even if they don't get it.
They're trying.
They are trying.
They're
And-
there.
Exactly. And I always like to stress, like, you don't have to understand it.
Nope.
You don't have to try to understand it. Just let it happen. Let them be them. Follow them on their journey. That's like the one advice I tell every parent. You don't ever need to fully understand. You just need to love your child unconditionally. And the parents that go to this group do that.
Which is great.
It is, and it's. I'm so happy to see that we're making that progress. even with everything going on in the world right now.
Which is very scary.
Very scary.
And every time I think, oh, we can't get any worse, you read the news and you're like, oh,
yeah,
it just got worse.
did.
Great.
Yeah.
And to have such a positive influence them. Your board members are amazing too.
Yes.
Great community activists that are great role models.
They are. They do
for
a
those
ton
kids.
for us.
Yeah.
They helped with the Red Party.
Yeah.
They kind of planned that whole
Yeah.
thing. And they're always there to support us. Whenever Tony or James has an idea, they work with the board and we kind of get it all together and get it going.
Mm-hmm.
But we also wouldn't be anywhere near where we are without Tony, the program director. He
celebrated his birthday at the Red Party.
Yes, we did. We
so
got him
cute.
a sash and a crown.
I loved the crown. I was like, you had a party for your birthday. I love it.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun, and there's never a dull moment. Never once has there been
That
a
must
dull
be a
moment.
fun office to work in. I'm like, you guys must have fun.
Yep, all the dad jokes come out.
I can imagine. That's cute. So coming up for Pride Month, there is so much.
Yes, there are.
Walk us through some of the magic.
Okay, so.
Did you have to write it all down? Because there's a
I
lot.
did. I actually wrote everything down because there is so many things.
Your website's very busy.
Yes, so we have our normal groups, which I'll run through really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Let everybody know because there's so many groups.
There are. So we have the Little Rainbows.
I love the Little Rainbows.
Which is, again, every other Wednesday from 5 to 7. We have our middle school group on Mondays, which is for middle schoolers, and we do different topics every Monday, whatever. Sometimes we let the youth decide, but usually we have it all planned out for the month. And that's from 6:30 to 8:30. And then I also just recently started up the Dungeons and Dragons Club.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Is it real Dungeons and Dragons?
Like no, it's the, do you know?
The dice game?
Yes, it is. That's exactly what
From
it is.
From like the 80s and 90s? You have brought that
back?
Become
big.
The original?
Yeah, the original.
It never went out of style.
No, it really didn't. It just went underground for a little while.
People think they just discovered it. We'll pretend they just discovered it.
They did. We'll let the youth think that.
Yes, that's fine.
So that's Mondays from 4:30 to 6.
Cool.
If you want to sign up for that, you just have to send me an email, which is cody@nagly.org. Then we have our parents group, Epic, which is the third Monday of every month, also 6:30 to 8:30. We have our Roots group, which is for middle school through 23. And that group is specifically for like different learning topics for youth to kind of grow within themselves. So I know we'll do like self-care topics. What can we do to help ourselves? What can we do when we're having a hard time?
Yeah.
And that one is also from 6:30 to 8:30 on Tuesdays. And then every other Tuesday we have Queer Adulting running alongside Roots, which is for the 18 plus.
Oh, okay.
So that group really focuses on skills that young adults may not know yet or need to know as they grow up. So I know we did like how to make a resume, how to apply for a job, how to know what you need to do to apply for a job, how to do taxes. And we'll also have other people come in and kind of have guest speakers about these things. So I know we had someone come in specifically to teach about taxes and talk about like what you should do if you need help with them.
That could have been horrifying.
Yeah, I would have suffered if I was in there, but I got to do the Roots group that night. And then we have our drop-ins, which is Wednesdays from 3 to 5. And that's every Wednesday we have drop-ins. And then we, on Thursdays, offer different kind of workshops.
Self-defense.
Oh, yes, we have our self-defense. Mike is amazing.
Huge.
Yes, at first it was very hard to get youth to go because, of course, it's self-defense, and a lot of them are like, I don't want to do that. Now that youth are going, it's picking up very quickly. Mike is phenomenal. I'll sit in on that group a lot. And he truly just wants to teach you how to keep yourself safe and how to make it so you can feel comfortable being yourself while walking around. And if you feel threatened, what you should do. He also really stresses, like, do not use physical harm because you need to, like, only use it when you absolutely have to. He teaches ways to protect yourself so that you can, like, push someone away and run.
Yep. Good.
He doesn't want you to like stand and fight.
Fleeing,
he wants he wants you to get out of the situation as quickly and safely as possible.
Which is huge.
So that one is once a month. I think we also do that the third Thursday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also offer other different workshops. So right now we have zine making.
Oh yeah, I looked at some of these workshops. Adorable. I was
Yes.
like, okay, so one of them is a craft class or making something that looked really neat.
Yes.
What is that?
So right
I
now,
should have written it down. It was so cute.
it was probably the zine making one. So zines are like little books.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now it's a 6-week program. They come every Thursday through the Peabody Essex Museum.
So cute.
They are so amazing. It is so much fun every time they come in. We have a bunch of youth that once they come in, they're just making these little books, and one kid made like 10 of them in one session because he just really liked making the book. He didn't even fill it out. He just decided to make it. And this Thursday is our last one of that session, but they made a whole NAGLY zine. So we have one specific to NAGLY.
Great.
So all the youth got to contribute
Awesome.
a page or a few pages into it. And then once that's done, we'll probably get another workshop going and keep doing that. And that's usually from 6:30 to 8:30 as well.
That's great.
And then Fridays, we have Transcendence, which is again for our transgender and non-binary youth, which is also 6:30 to 8:30. And that's middle school through 23. And then drop-ins on Fridays are 3 to 8:30. That's why we see so many youth, because it's like the whole night is drop-ins.
Which is nice.
It is. They get time to relax, play video games, be goofy and have fun and do whatever they want. So those will be running throughout the year.
Does that go through the summer as well?
Yes.
That's huge.
And then the first week of July we are closed, so
Right.
we have a breather.
So you all get the same vacation week.
Yeah, so exactly, and we have a breather from Pride. And then we also have our satellite locations.
Right. So talk to me about those. So we have Lynn.
Yep, Lynn. We have Cape Ann, and we have Newburyport.
Wow. Okay.
So the Lynn meets the first Thursday of every month. We do stop that after June and start it back up again, I think, in September.
Okay.
So that's at the Democus Family YMCA in Lynn and the community building, which is like right across the front door. And that one is very similar, where we just run different groups. It's from 5 to 8:30. I know for June, we're doing it the second week just because it's Pride and we get very packed on the first week. So we'll have the second week we'll be doing neon sign making.
That was it. I wanted to sign up, and I am not 23. I'm not 23.
Yep.
Just so we're clear on that, I wish I were. That looked amazing. You need to have, let me talk to Tony. Tell Tony, Gayla says you need to make a ally sign making class so we can donate money and come do it.
That would be awesome.
Him.
I'll tell him, don't you worry. He'll hear about it. You'll get an email.
I will pay to come make sign making, neon sign making. That was the one that I thought was so cool.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that in June for the Lynn site.
Great.
And it's going to be very exciting. We always have snacks and order food. So
you feed them, they will come.
Yes, we have to
Teenagers
feed
will
them.
come.
Teenagers always need food.
They do.
Yep, we have a whole bin of snacks.
I love it.
And then for Pride specifically.
Oh yeah, run that down.
We will be doing
There's a lot.
Yes, we will be doing a lot of different like flag raising events. The main events that I like to stress are the ones that are happening in our area. So I know Newburyport, we have our youth Pride dance, which is 9th through 12th grade.
Nice.
And it's on June 2nd from 7 to 9. So we did that one last year as well, which caused a lot of controversy for a little while.
I know.
But right now it seems like it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen again. We're just going to have the dance and everyone's going to have fun.
And everyone's going to be happy.
Exactly. And then we have our North Shore Pride at Salem Commons, which is on the 24th
of June. Yep.
And it's going to be, it's always very fun. It's always very busy. We will have our own table there. We will be marching in the parade. We also are asking for anyone that wants to volunteer, even if it's just for the month of June, to email myself or Tony, just because we have so many events, and the more people that we can get, the more events we can do and more events we can go to. And right after the Salem Commons North Shore Pride, we have our NAGLY Youth Pride after party at our space. You have to come to the after party and do that.
Yes. And Kiwanis for the second year is making the after party goodie bags.
Yes.
So we're making 100.
We're gonna run out of those fast.
We didn't make 100 last year, and then who told me 100? Tony told me 100?
Probably
Yep.
Tony.
And you're coming to speak at Kiwanis, so
Yep.
don't forget that. So it's exciting. Yeah, so Kiwanis will be making 100 bags for the kids.
Yes.
Very excited. Or the youth, excuse me. I don't want to call them children. I'll get in trouble. They'll be very offended with me. So the youth will be getting 100 goodie bags that we'll be making from Kiwanis, which is awesome.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to this year's Pride.
Yeah.
Because with everything going on in the world, I think
We need
having the month to just have fun
Yep.
and be yourself and feel the love.
And we're gonna. Yep. And
Yeah.
are they prepared? I'm assuming from NAGLY's point of view and the city of Salem that we're preparing just in case.
Yes.
There would be some protesting. 'Cause
Yes.
seems to be with anything you do nowadays, there's protesting.
Usually when we do our Pride events, there's always a few events where
few,
there are
yeah.
protesters. So one thing we always stress with our youth, because a lot of them want to come and be with NAGLY and table with us and
Yeah.
be there. So we always stress to them, like, listen, when you do come, like, if someone comes up to here, you're not talking back, you're walking away.
Yep, right.
And we will walk you away. We will walk you to wherever we need to walk you. Because
Yes.
we can't stop them from coming.
Right.
But we always stress, like, listen, if you're going to come to Pride, like, here's some safety tips.
Good.
You know that if you ever feel uncomfortable, you can let
Yep.
one of us know. We can walk you back to the space.
Yep.
Also, like, make sure your parents know that you're here. And we have a bunch of safety procedures that we like to follow just to make
Good.
sure that we're protecting the youth first.
Great.
But I know Salem Police is phenomenal. They will do a great job with making sure everything runs smoothly for North Shore Pride. And
Quick walk, isn't it?
it is.
It's from the Commons to the church or the church to the Commons? Wait,
It's,
no, Shetland?
We're at, the parade.
It starts at Shetland, right?
Yeah, it
And
starts
we go,
at Shetland, and then you go to the Commons.
which is very quick,
Yes.
but there's so many people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I know we are going to have a lot more people walking with us this year than we did last year.
Good.
So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Usually Tony leads like our group in the parade, and then I'm chilling at the table. And then it's like very calm, and then all of a sudden you just see this wave of people, and you're just like, oh, there they are.
They're here.
And
We're
then the
partying.
party starts.
That's great.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting.
Yes,
It's
it
exciting
is.
that there's so much. Now, I know from a volunteer perspective, NAGLY is always looking for volunteers.
Yes.
But from a financial, let's talk about the financial aspects. So people that go, so the youth that go to NAGLY, do they pay?
No, everything is free.
Yeah, and so that is huge.
Yes.
So that is something, working in the nonprofit sector and volunteering my time with nonprofits, I see a lot. So the fact that they can come be in a safe space and not worry
Yep.
and be with people that are like-minded, that are, love them for who they are is huge.
Yes.
So I know there are lots of ways that people can support NAGLY. So Tony, I'm sure Tony wrote this for you.
Yes.
Cody, go ahead.
All right.
Tell me how we can help NAGLY. I mean, I know snacks, anything.
Yes.
Lay it all out there for everybody. What
so I have
do we
most
need?
of it memorized.
I figured you did.
So donations are
Yep.
a huge thing.
Yep.
You can go on our website. There's a whole donations page. You can choose to do a one-time donation, recurring donations. When we're at events, we always have our donation bin. So you're more than welcome to donate in that. We also don't just want cash donations. So we
Right.
have our boutique, which is basically a giant closet in our space where youth can come in, grab clothes that they need or clothes that they like. It's all free. It's all donated. I always stress the reason I love our boutique is because if a youth can't wear what they want or wear what makes them happy outside of the space, they can come in, find what they like, change, wear it while they're at our location, and when they're about to leave, they can change back into the clothes that they have to wear while they're out in public.
That's great.
So we always love getting donations for clothes. We did end up having to put a pause on that for a while because we had so many. But one of our interns did a phenomenal job at
Great.
redecorating the boutique and reorganizing.
It was going to be called, what did James say it was going to be
Oh,
called?
I don't remember,
It
but
was
he
a
probably had a very...
closet or something, some magical closet thing.
Yeah.
So it's a boutique. Got it.
Yes. We also take like book donations because we have our
great.
library, and donations for snacks, food. We order pizza from Essex Pizza because it's right down the hall.
Right there.
So really, if you have questions about donations, you can email James, which is also just james@nagly.org. He will help you figure out what you can donate, how you can donate it, as well as Tony. You can also email Tony. But donations are huge for us, specifically because we are a nonprofit. So we like to make sure everything's going to our youth.
Right. And they're hungry. I mean, you have all these teenagers. They always need
they're
snacks.
growing teenagers.
So that's another question I had for you. Teenagers and homelessness is huge.
Yes.
No matter what the demographic is.
Yeah.
So knowing that there are transgender and gay and LGBTQ and lesbian youth that can't be at home
Yep.
because they're not accepted, I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, that you deal with a lot. You do probably have a small or a large portion, I don't know what kind of portion, of your members
Yeah.
are homeless.
Yeah, we have had quite a few youth come in and just say, like, listen, I got kicked out.
Yep.
Either by their parents, or if they were already living on their own, they
Yep.
got kicked out by their landlord, or there's some sort
Yeah.
of discrimination. Thankfully, we do have a lot of connections with other
Great.
organizations, and Tony is phenomenal at connecting with those organizations and making sure that it actually follows through with what they need.
Good.
I know sometimes you see people say, like, oh, here, we can contact these people, and then it's kind of like this handoff and that's it.
Good luck.
Yeah, Tony like makes sure like he does the handoff, he checks in with the youth,
Aw.
helps the youth make sure they're set up. So we do see that, unfortunately, quite a bit. But thankfully, there are a lot of organizations around Salem or within our district that we can contact.
That's huge.
And they are always able to help out and make sure that the youth is safe and in a place where they can be until we can figure out what exactly we need to do.
That's great. It's amazing. And I also know on Amazon.
Yes, we have our Amazon wish list. I didn't know that existed for a very long time.
I
But
spent a lot of time on your website before you came.
Oh, look at you.
Look at me.
NAGLY professional.
So good. I just want to make sure you plug everything.
Yeah, so our Amazon wish list.
There's items you can buy too.
Yes.
There's items, and then you can. NAGLY is one of the nonprofits that you can donate to.
Yes. So I know Tony will go in and update the wish list periodically for things that we really need or think would be good and helpful for our youth. I know one of the biggest things that we're trying to work on is getting binders for our youth. So for those that don't know, binders are a way to kind of create a flat chest for female to male transgender youth. They're very expensive, and there's a lot of binder safety that the youth need to know beforehand. And we do have some, but we're trying to find a way to get more because right now, with how expensive they are, with everything happening, with youth being in homes that may not be accepting, we really want to be able to support them because having a binder really helps with the gender dysphoria and kind of makes it so you can go out and not be anxious and overthinking and thinking, who's going to tell that I'm trans? Like, who's going to look at me and be like, oh, you're this person, and then am I going to get hurt? What bathroom should I use?
Yeah.
All of these fears that I wish youth didn't have to go through, but still have to go through.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for new things to help us help these youth, and the Amazon wish list is a great place to start.
Absolutely. So there is so much that you've shared with us, Cody. Amazing.
Yes.
Did we hit everything? I want to make sure we get everything. I know Pride Month is huge.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I want to talk about some of the specific volunteer opportunities.
Oh, I love this. Specific. I'm trying to
Yes.
figure out where am I volunteering. So go ahead, tell me the specific ones.
So we do have a lot of different volunteer opportunities. So one of them is if you wanted to be an outreach volunteer. So that would be going to different events, like Pride events, and tabling. So you would kind of stand at our table, talk to anyone that came up, kind of tell them about what NAGLY is, what we do, how they can be a part of it, as well as give them the free stuff that we have. And
All this
then-
cool free stuff.
Always. And you also help us kind of reach out to other organizations that we may be able to partner with. So we're always looking for outreach volunteers. We have our adult advisors. So basically you're in the space all the time when we have our groups. And you're basically just there to hang out with the youth, make sure everyone's doing okay. If a youth is having a rough day and they want to talk, you're there to talk with them. And you can also run different groups. So we have our staff meeting, and we discuss what groups we're going to do for the month. And you can decide which group you want to do, or if you have a group idea. It's really cool to be an adult advisor. That's what I am. And it's always fun running the groups, because it's usually the same group of kids, but they always act way different depending on the group.
I can imagine.
So it's always a lot of fun.
Good.
And then we have just our front desk, which you just hang out up front. We keep the doors closed now at NAGLY, so when someone comes, they have to ring the doorbell.
It's locked.
Yes. We were able to keep it open, but with everything going on, Tony wanted to put safety first.
All the elementary school doors are locked now, too.
Yes. So we have someone sitting at the front desk who kind of just greets the youth that comes in, makes sure they sign in on the computer.
Yep.
We also have our little Pride Place market up front, so
yes,
people can come in and buy flags. I know we have Halloween rubber duckies. We have heart.
What?
Yeah. I know.
Where's
I didn't bring
ducky?
you one.
Oh my goodness. Where's my list? I need my
Yeah,
list.
you need to make a list.
I'm making you a list.
And then we have our rainbow heart stress balls.
Yes.
So
I have mine.
But yeah, so those are some of the main volunteer opportunities. And again, if you reach out to myself or Tony, we can kind of see what you want to do, if you want to come in. And it's not anything where you have to come every single time on the same day or a certain amount of times. It's whenever you're able to, and follow through with when you're able to, so that way we can make sure the youth have a stable amount of people around them.
Which is key.
Yes, very much. That's stability and routine is very
That's
important.
Huge. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, Cody. I appreciate it. I'm excited about all the great things coming up. And we'll see you in just a week and a half, not even at Kiwanis. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Lead On. My name is Gayla Bartlett. Make sure you get ready for Pride Month.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Starting June 1st, we're excited. Lots of different local events on the NAGLY website you can check out for the surrounding communities. And Cody's already told me that NAGLY will have a presence at a lot of those events. Danvers does our flag raising on June 1st.
Yes.
So NAGLY will most likely be there as well. And I know here at DCAT, we always cover that event. So until next time, Danvers, take care and make sure you spread the world with love, energy, and light, and lots of sparkle.